next episode of Naik Bulu Tales.
We're doing a crossover.
I love going where the hantu is at. And then pokok ara is like heavy pokok ara. It's like covering the whole place. The mood or the ambience of the place is just sink in. It was completely dark. Nothing looked open. This place is huge kind of hotel. That night, there was no wind, no nothing, right? But right in front of her, she saw two roads just dangling like that. He went, look, there's no one here, we better leave. When they got into the car and they started moving, they heard something smack into the car. Like a bang. Because there's no one there, in the middle of the night, right? In the middle of the jungle, there's no one there. They got out, and no joke, on the back side of the car, ada handprint lah.
We believe you.
And we're back.
To another episode of
Naik Bulu Tales. I'm Moe.
I am Fairil, and we are back with a really awesome guests today.
I think, it's nice to be back in the studio.
Yep.
One thing.
It's been we've been we've done a couple of episodes. I know some of our episodes have been a bit different, but we've always wanted to explore the different perspectives.
Always trying to innovate.
Yeah.
So speaking of innovation, this time around we're doing a crossover with another awesome ghost podcast called Lights Out
Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
And the awesome thing is they actually got in touch with us, and they saw some of our stuff, and they're like, "Hey guys, let's do a crossover." And I immediately went, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, and we're exactly the mirror image of the two hosts.
You see them.
So the more handsome and cooler one. He has glasses too.
They're really awesome guys. So, before we get on with that, just don't forget to subscribe, comment, like our Naik Bulu Tales pages and social media stuff. And also, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like these guys, which is Lights Out Ghost Stories, because they're up and coming and they got some great stories on the channel.
Share all you can.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let us introduce to you. You want to introduce?
Joe and Kim.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
How you doing, guys? Hello.
Hey, great to have you guys here with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
There's a lot of really good content out there from Southeast Asia about ghost stories, right? And I think it's the same with Kim, that what we do is that I love watching. I'm a consumer of ghost story content as well, and I've been watching you guys for a very long time. So it just feels so weird seeing you guys there and also seeing myself on the screen.
Yeah, no, it's the same for us, right?
Yeah, we see ourselves on the screen. But just to let our audience know that these guys, actually, Joe, you're in Australia, right?
Yes, I'm in Perth, Western Australia.
Perth, Australia, and in Kim, you're in Sarawak.
In Kuching, Sarawak, yes.
Kuching, Sarawak. So, these guys, how long have you guys been doing this together?
We actually met each other when it's pandemic. Similar story like you guys also. You guys also started whatever you guys are doing just for the sake of having fun, telling ghost stories. We kind of like, reminiscing the old times where we sit around in coffee shop, living room, friend's room, and then, initially maybe it started with like homework, and then after that the next thing it's ghost story.
Yes.
You were talking about family stuff, the next thing ghost story, so it's that kind of feeling that actually get us together. So I met Joe on the other channel actually, and then after that the love is similar. The love is mutual, whereby we just fantasize by it's just amused by all this stuff. And then after that, I think from there slowly we get into like trips together, tour together, and eventually become really close friends. And then until a point of time we're like, how come we never thought of starting our own? And then eventually that was actually, we create content since pandemic, but for the both of us, I think coming to a year now, Joe.
I think it's more than a year, right?
More than a year?
Yeah. It's more than a year. Geez, I think we started beginning of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the beginning of last year. Maybe even before that. Shit, I don't recall.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Because good times with friends always seems to pass by very fast. Gitu.
Jangan main ni.
Well, you guys were actually, what's really cool too. I was going through your channel, one of your videos. I think it was Demon Doug or something like that. And then I saw a comment, which I'm gonna pull up here so that our audience can see. And the comment actually,
Right.
one of the commenters said, "I also watch Naik Bulu Tales from Malaysia. Maybe do a crossover with them on your channel." So
Well, there you go.
that's pretty cool, you know. It's just to see how
Well, it manifested. lah.
yeah,
The energy that our audience has for all four of us is just amazing.
And this is one thing that I've noticed about you guys that maybe sets you a little bit apart from some of the other stuff that's out there. And, you know, no disrespect to who's out there. I think everyone does really good content. But I think authenticity knows authenticity.
Agree.
Right. So, and this is something that I've always got from your channel, was that there was this authenticity in the storytelling, in your relationship as well. And I think it translates really well on screen.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
because you can't fake that, you know. And
You can't.
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask about the two of you, right? What is it about the two of you that people love to watch, really?
We are your typical two boys at the back of the classroom who doesn't study, never does their homework, you know. Or we actually, funnily enough, like Kim and I, when we first met online, I've told him this before. When I first met him, I was like, I really don't know about this guy. Like, he's not. Okay, like, we'll have to see. Then when we met, we just kind of click. And I suppose we have enough similarities that we gel, but there's also enough differences that set us apart from one another. Like Kim hates going to haunted places. He hates it. Freaking hates it, right? I get online with him. I get into fights with him. He won't come with me. I love going where the hantu is at.
Because you want to be a hantu also lah.
So now you guys can tell who's my twin.
Yeah.
This guy.
Good looking one, lah, bro.
Hey, look.
Okay lah,
Both
okay
me
lah.
and Kim are wearing hats too.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's correct. Hey, glasses.
Yeah. Joe. Game
Bro.
recognizes game, bro.
Yeah, so
Exactly. Hey, I remember something that you brought up last time that we had a chat, because obviously the audience would know that, you know, we would kind of like get in contact with one another. We kind of feel one another out. And you came up with this wonderful tagline for the both of us.
what was it again?
Mojo. So yeah, I think that just like sets it up. This is Mojo Explores. I love it.
You guys
Yeah.
gonna see a lot of mojo today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kim
that's
and
right.
Rel will be in the car.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being on here, and I know you guys got some ghost stories to tell. So you know, the platform is yours.
Let's
to
get
tell.
into
Let's
it,
get
boys.
into it, guys.
Let's get-
Okay, so I think because obviously we have been experiencing all sorts of different experiences on our own, at the same time also we have collected a lot of other Naik Bulu Tales that along the way of doing content and whatnot. So actually we kind of have to sit down and kind of like think about, you know, what story to tell the boys from Naik Bulu Tales. So I think this is when I actually kind of go to Joe and say, Joe, I think we better tell this story, because probably our audience on our platform or the channel that we were on before knew about this story. But because this happened for quite a while back, but obviously your audience would be new to this. So I think we're going to go to this story because actually there is, I would say like a sequel, but there is a part 1 from me, then there will be a part 2 from Joe.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Okay.
Why is that? Is because the story, both of our story for tonight, it's gonna come from the island of gods, whereby Bali in Indonesia, right? So we're gonna go to the story lah. Okay, Indonesia or Bali is also the place where actually I met Joe physically for the first time.
Ooh, how romantic.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
So romantic in a way that one of the things that we really gel straight away immediately is when it's gonna sound wrong, but I'm still gonna say it lah, huh? The both of us like, hey, come on, let's go hang out in the pool before we go do whatever we are supposed to do, right? So we were topless, and then we are in our swimming trunk. The moment we see each other, we're like, shit, we got the same tattoo. So
No way.
No way.
yeah, that is when we're like, shit, okay. I mean, again, go back to the, you know,
Wow.
game recognizes game, lah, you know.
pretty cool.
So there's like, okay, lah, this is definitely a brother from a
And then the
different
mother, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Wow.
the story the story actually, funny enough, is because it started immediately when I reached the resort where Joe was already there. Okay, the story goes like this. I'm gonna go with the what happened when we were in Bali. The moment we hit the resort, because this is right after pandemic, so the business have been slow, right? According to the resort owner, which I remember the name, Dude actually told us that the resort had been quite quiet for quite some time, you know, and you guys are among the first few that actually came back and for a visit. So I'm like, cool. You know how, actually, for those who do not know or never visited Bali before, Balinese actually has this, they have got plenty of stories to share, because again, they believe in the other realm a lot more than Indonesia in general, right? The things of the worship that they do, the belief system that they have, you know, although it's very similar to Hinduism, but actually it's not Hinduism, right? It's their own. So the moment we sampai, and then we talk to Dude and whatnot, then Dude said, immediately Dude like, you guys know what? For a past couple of weeks, when there was actually just one tenant in one room, he kept claiming that he see a lady walking around the pool area. So he actually came up to me and asked, is it there is another tenant that checked in and I do not know about? If yes, probably, you know, maybe I can say hi so that, you know, we know there is another person at the resort. Then that is, and Dude is like, huh? What are you talking about? You are the only tenant here. But this tenant keep saying that at night time, he would see like a lady walking around the pool area. But there was no other tenant, right? So Dude is like, yeah, that is the first story that I can give you guys since you guys are here. We're like, cool. I baru check in, and then this is the first story that you get me, right? Like Joe mentioned just now, I refuse to go to places like this unless, you know, I really have to. Then no choice. Okay. Now I'm staying in one, okay? So ever since then, I was like on alert lah to see whether there is these things or not. Then after that, we get talking to Dude and whatnot. And actually Dude go and say, oh, you guys know what? If you guys wanted to check out another place, behind this resort, like you walk like about 5-10 minutes away, actually 5-10 minutes away, you're gonna sampai to this wood carving factory that is abandoned. So there is a story there, right? So if you guys wanted to go and check it out, you guys can. So obviously, seeing Joe and myself, and that time is another team, was so intrigued by this, you know, immediately we're like, what is the story? Tell us the story first, then to see whether we will go check it out or not. They say, okay, what happened was last time there was a YouTuber, another content creator, actually went to film at that factory, which is already abandoned, right? Which is already abandoned. So he said he went in, and then the weird part is he never came out. The person never came out, right? The creator never came out. So he's like, okay, then what happened? So I say, so obviously there is family members or friends or close one reported saying that he'd been missing. You know, somebody have to check it out and see what happened. So they went and searched for that place. Nowhere to be found, right? Nowhere to be found. So then after that they say, oh, probably this have to kind of do something with the supernatural. So maybe have to call Bomo. Bomo in Bali, it's called the Balian. Which is similar to Bomo Dukun, but they are called Balian, right? So they called the Balian in. So then the Balian came, the Balian did the ritual. Then after that, the Balian said, yeah, you know what? I actually found him. I know where the guy is. Then we're like, okay, what happened? He said, he is now in the Bunian world, which is the Orang Bunian, the similar Orang Bunian we know in Malaysia. He is in the Orang Bunian world. But the thing is, because he is already so involved in their world, that person refused to come out. The person that trapped in that Bunyan world, or maybe he, you know,
Got tempted to stay lah, maybe.
got tempted to stay. You know how we always hear stories of the Bunyan people are the prettiest people that you have seen, and then, you know, when you got hooked up, you definitely don't want to come back, right? So the Balian claimed that the person did not want to return. So eventually the person was just reported missing like that. So the person eventually, you know, kind of like, it's still there lah, kan? Okay, you know Joe wanna be where the hantu is at. Immediately when he said the Bunyan world is there, somebody is missing, and, you know, there is a portal there, let's go. So I'm like, yeah, okay lah, you know what? But for me, in my head, I'm like, okay lah, because the factory is actually not too far away. So, like, surrounding the area, there's still people staying. You can still see people's houses and whatnot. Maybe it's not that bad in my head, right? In my head, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. So, okay lah, come lah, let's check it out. I think we checked it out on the third day. So the second day, we actually went to another place because we got another story, right? So, but because I already tell you the factory, let me tell you the factory punya story first. Joe, that time I remember he bought like a huge luggage with like 2 DSLR, right, Joe? Right, two.
Yeah, I had like 10 worth of like video equipment down there. It was a lot of stuff. Like it was in a huge freaking container, not a container, but a huge like a luggage kind of thing. I bought a lot of stuff.
Yeah, huge, and it's like we're talking about. I don't know whether it's good enough for Netflix, but you know, it's professional equipment. Okay, so Joe, we're gonna shoot there. Okay, let's make sure that you charge it. Everything is ready to go, and let's do that. Okay. So we had an activity in the morning. Then after that, in the afternoon, I think by maybe slightly petang lah, like maybe 3, 4 like that. Came back, charge everything, put on charge, go to nap, and then okay, we're gonna go to that place. I think it was 8 p.m. So when it's already dark, then let's go there. Everything is charged, yeah. Okay, let's go. So 8, everybody gather. Okay, let's go into the factory lah. So we walk according to the direction of the resort owner that told us, right? You go here and here, then eventually you bump into that place, okay? So we walk. So you imagine, the walk was that 10 minutes walk. 5 minutes in, you still see like people's houses and whatnot. So you're like, okay lah, not that bad. From far, you can still hear like faint dangdut music. So you're like, okay lah, not that bad, right? Not that bad. Moment you jalan. 5 minutes, then you know, okay, this should be the place. The place is surrounded by pokok ara. And the pokok ara is like heavy pokok ara, okay? Like you can see the roots is already dangling down. It's like covering the whole place. Immediately when we sampai there kan, the mood or the ambience of the place is just sink in. You know, everything becomes heavy. You're like, shit, okay, this must be it lah, okay? Okay, let's go in and let's try to capture whatever it is. The moment we step in, okay lah, this should be the factory lah, because we can see like the structure. No, it's not huge per se, but it's I think
it's big enough.
Yeah, it's big enough. I think you can fit like 20 people walking around comfortably inside there.
Sorry, I may have missed it earlier. What is the factory? What do they do in that?
Oh, it's
wood
a
carving.
wood carving factory.
Wood carving factory.
Yeah, wood
Got
carving
it.
factory, but abandoned, right? Okay, so walked in. The moment we walked in, okay, Joe, let's start shooting. Most of the major equipment that Joe brought, battery depleted. There's no battery at all.
Yeah.
Cannot shoot.
And remember, I had like charged these cameras up like beforehand, and we're not talking about like I went on Temu or something like that and got like a $20 freaking DSLR. I had like a Fujifilm DSLR. I had a Sony prosumer kind of like a handy cam. So I had a lot of stuff there, and they all the batteries died. The light started flickering. The settings and the menu started changing. We're like, what the hell is happening?
One of the few things that actually worked was phone. And then I remember one of us brought a pocket, the DJI pocket. The small things, it works. Big things, it just wouldn't turn on, right? So obviously we were like, Joe, you must be an old man lah, you know, before you go there, forgot to turn it on. But he kept on insisting, saying that, no, I remember. You guys been bugging me, been nagging me, I forgot. Then she said, no, I remember to charge it. Then before I keluar, I still remembered, I checked and the battery was there. Right? Okay, never mind. We just shoot with whatever we have and just go with it, right? So we go. Then after that, we jalan around. Then after that, a team member suggested, okay, if not, why don't we do an isolation test whereby there's this huge space here, everybody will stay here for 5 minutes and just feel, and then the rest will go outside, like a hole, outside the hole, and then let's see what happened, right? So, okay lah, we'll do that. Okay, then everybody stand inside like this dark hole for like 5 minutes just to feel whatever it's like. I'm not comfortable being places like this, right? So the only, to be honest, the only thing that I actually focus on was the faint dangdut music. That was what I focus on, you know. But at least if I see an entity in front of me start joget, then at least I don't feel that bad, right?
Joget sekali
So
lah.
joget sekali lah. So I was focusing on that, you know. Then I came out. That time, my girlfriend, now wife, she was also outside. So the moment I stepped out, and then she's like, this place is shit, man. This place is shit. I'm like, okay lah. Then the next person went in, right? So I asked her, what's wrong? So she's like, I'll tell you when we go out, right? So, okay, fine. Then after that, everybody tried that isolation test and whatever, right? So then after that, we were inside. Oh, sorry, I missed out this part. Before we sampai, we were advised by the local that whenever you go to places like this, remember to pay respect, right? Because we came from a different religion. That time they are Catholic, they are Muslim, and they are free thinker in that group, right? So I'll be like, but the local said, if you can, you just put up like the small offerings. So the offering is like made out of leaves. Inside there is tobacco, candies, joysticks, and stuff like that lah. So that, you know,
flour, daun.
yeah, flour, down. So this is the normal offerings that you can buy from the market. You just put it up and offer to this whoever that is there. So for the Balinese, they believe in 3 tiers of this entity. One is on the higher realm, which is the good spirits. You have to offer them. Then after that, there will be the one on the ground, which is the evil one. So you have to offer them as well. Then there is one in the middle, whereby it's black and white. It's grey. So this one is like neither here or there. So, but 3 of these levels, tiers, you have to pay respect to them, right? So we're like, okay lah, they are free thinker in the team, because according to the teaching, whether it's Muslim or Catholic, you cannot believe other than one God. You can, you know, it's wrong to do other offerings, other praying or rituals, right? So we did not. So we just bought, we contribute, but then another friend actually lit up the joystick, you know, put up the tobacco and whatnot, and then offered that, right? So we were doing this offering. So a friend actually snapped a photo of us after the offering was done, before the isolation test, okay? So if you guys don't mind, I've sent you the photo. Just go to the one that I sent to you before. Okay, so this is the photo. This is when we are inside the factory.
Got it.
Right? Okay. So in that photo, you can see I'm on the most right-hand side. Right? And then on my right, that is Joe holding a 360 light.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, then next to Joe, it's a team member that we used to do content together with. And next to that guy, it's my wife, that time girlfriend, right? So she is holding a torchlight, shining towards the camera.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, then on the most far left, you can actually see what looks like a figure.
That's what we saw.
Right? Okay, so this is the photo that we got, but we have a look way after. Okay, so remember this photo. We'll come back to the photo later. Okay, so we do the isolation task or whatever. Then after that, we're like, okay lah, let's walk around and see what else. While we were doing this, 2 of the other team member actually went to the back side of the factory. All right, this is what they claim they saw. In behind that factory, there are rows and there are rooms, right? There are rooms. So obviously it's abandoned. Obviously you're gonna see it's not been taken care of. It's dirty. You have a lot of leaves. You have a lot of debris and whatnot. But both of them claim there is this one particular room. It's clean, as if somebody actually took care of the place. Okay, they obviously when we heard that, we were like, probably drug addict. But we actually never really heard of drug addict take care of the place that they take drug in, right? So you said no. as if there is somebody who take care of the place. You know, it's there's no leaves, there's no debris, and it's not like it's clean, but it's cleaner than the rest of the place, right? So they say, oh, come lah, let's check out the place. So everybody kind of like moved out. So these two person actually, so you imagine, so let's say this is, you look at the layout from top lah, huh? This is where we were at. The room is actually on this side. This is the room, right? So for the both of them to get to this side of the room, they actually just climb this part, whereby it's kind of dangerous because there is a rusty zinc on this part. But the two of them venture lah, kiranya. So they climbed and then they went to this room, right? So they told us, after that they came back and told us, you should check out this room. But I don't want to risk it. And I don't want to say, but Joe being a bigger sized man, it's harder for him to get through that, right? So we actually have to like go around here to go to the room area lah. And shit, I kid you not. The pokok ara is enough, I tell you, the pokok ara is already enough. We're like, shit, this is already the setting for horror movie.
Yeah.
The moment I turn behind, I see like a field of pokok pisang, man. A field of pokok pisang. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, pokok ara, not enough pokok pisang now. So we walked there, after that, like, shit, man, this is not happening, man, this is not happening. So I remember that time, Joe was in front of me, then it was my wife that I was behind. Then the two member already, my wife is sitting next to me now. She's actually laughing, which I'm going to share to you why she's laughing. So we went in the line, right? We went in line. Immediately when we had there, the other lady in the group, apart from my wife, started behaving weird. She kept on saying that she noticed there is a waterway. It's not a river, but it's a stream. It's like a stream.
But a very fast flowing stream.
Yeah,
very fast flowing
stream.
Like I don't know where.
No. There is like, it's behind that.
Oh, okay.
Behind that factory lah. You know.
Okay, if you have a look at the far wall of that photo that we just showed, right? At that far wall, behind that, that's where the stream is, and it falls into a small waterfall.
Got it. Okay.
This teammate of us keep on saying that she wanted to go there. She insists she wanted to go there. Yeah, no, it's dark, it's dangerous, you know, to get yourself hurt and whatnot. And then the next thing you know, from this part to get down to the room, I think it's actually kind of like the build is actually lower than the place that we stand, right? So you actually have to like jump down to get to the room area. This lady, it's smaller than me, maybe my shoulder height, right? She just like, something got into her and immediately she just jumped down and then she went into the room like very eager to show us what is happening. So immediately Joe was like, something is wrong, grab her, don't let her disappear or ran away and whatnot. Immediately grab her and whatnot. So it was chaotic. It was chaotic at that moment because we don't know what's going to happen to her, right? So yeah, so I was behind the line, right? So that is when my wife turned to me and asked me, did you smell that? I'm like, yeah. What do you think it is? Then she's like, did you fart?
Kita ingat hantu, bukan itu. Kim.
Okay, there are a few things that's gonna get me in stomachache lah, huh? One, I cannot get excited. Two, I cannot get too scared. I'm gonna have a stomachache, okay? My stomach is gonna get upset because of that stupid thing, right? I'm gonna sakit perut already kan. I'm like, okay, should I let it go or not, huh? Maybe I should just fart and then these people think, hey, there's a smell, I think we should leave. In my head, I'm like, okay, just let it go lah. But I miscalculated that my wife is there because she know my fart in and out, right? Immediately she turned back to me like, do you smell that? I'm like, yeah. And like, did you fart? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Can you tell them you smell something bad and then we just can go home now? Okay, so that was a joke lah. That was a joke of that evening to make myself feel better. But the chaos is still there, right? Joe was like immediately grab the teammate and just pull her out and
we had to physically grab her.
we had
Right?
to
We had to physically
grab her.
like we're not talking about like, you know, come on, let's go here. We had to physically grab her because she was acting very irrationally. She was and Kim will explain, she was looking at offerings in the ground, and you know what she'd say? She goes, "Oh, look, there's food. I want to eat that." And she kept trying to grab it and eat it. She'd see animals like small frogs and try to eat the frog. So we knew something was not right, you know.
Yeah,
she doesn't
so-
usually behave like that.
Okay, maybe you can't tell it from the camera. I'm rather a big guy. Joe is rather a big guy, and it not to say we cannot, but it takes energy to actually hold a lady that small to go off, you know. So imagine walking back, be like, okay, you go here, okay, you go. I'm just gonna put name lah, not her actual name just Siti lah. Siti, you go here. She can just walk. Then after that, she can just turn, you know. Then she's like, turn. I want to go to the waterway. Oh my God! I tell you, that time I was more afraid of having another friend missing, and then go back to my resort owner and say, shit, now you have 2 people missing in that wood carving factory.
Yeah,
One of it is my friend. I was so afraid, right? So we have to grab her and then, you know, pull out. And along the way, whatever is, like Joe said lah, small animal, offering, she's like, I want to eat it. I'm so hungry. Can I have the food? And thank God that we actually got out. And then after that, but we did not go back straight to the resort. Immediately, we cari a kedai makan, whereby there's a lot more people. So we sat down. Then after that, we should have a drink and try to fill our tummy out and, you know, just disperse the energy. And slowly after that, she recovered. So then go back to the photo. So that photo, when we had that, she's the one who took the photo. The lady who wanted to go to the waterway, she's the one who took that photo.
City,
right?
yeah.
City, yeah. So City say, I felt that this photo it looks like there is that entity there, right? So she's like, okay, let's try it out. Okay, let's not say it, but let's try it out. So we sent to 3 friends. One is a Balian friend in Bali. Another friend is in Singapore. And another friend of mine from here in Kuching, Sarawak. But digitally lah, we send it to them digitally. Okay, so these two. Let's go with these 3 lah, because the Balian obviously he can see. Then these 2 friends, they claim that they have the third eye ability. They can see, right? So without context, we just send them the photo, and then we ask them, tell us what you see in this photo. Okay, we didn't say where were we didn't say where is this taken, we didn't say what we suspect it might be. Just tell us what it is. 3 of them came back with the exact same description. 3 of them saw a lady in traditional Balinese or Indonesian attire, and the lady is in a hairband, standing there, just looking at us.
Wow. Oh, that's creepy.
So if you look back at the
really
photo,
creepy.
it does have that kind of shape, but not very clearly. So we're
Okay,
like,
wait,
Yeah, we gotta.
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
She's looking through. It's crazy. You guys see that?
Now, yeah. Now Joe's a bit skeptical, right? Joe's a bit of the skeptic of the group, and I had initially thought, like, so you have the guy that's standing there, and then you have the 360 light. I had initially thought that was the reflection of that guy standing there, because if you have a look at the back of his head, looks like there's a little bit of a bun as well, right? And it's similar. But then the closer I looked at it, I went, the shadow does not appear on the wall. The shadow does not appear to be on the shelf. It seems to be floating in between.
Yeah, that looks.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Because if it's,
you know-
if it's a shadow, it would be on something that's solid, right? Like
Yeah.
the wall, the shelf.
It's almost like it's see-through.
Yes.
Yeah, almost
like translucent.
Yeah.
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 And a complete skeptic would say it's, that's light bouncing off the camera lens and stuff like that. But then how do you account for 3 people who don't know one another, who have no idea of the context, have no idea where we are? Well, 1 did, 2 didn't. And they come up with the same visualization. Yeah. It's interesting to me, at least.
Very interesting. Damn.
So I guess that is the first story. Do you guys want to have a question first?
Part 1. Yeah. So I guess what was the vibe like? Did you guys feel unsafe when you were exploring?
No, not for me. Psychically, I'm as psychic as a lump of wood. So I don't typically get these feelings. I do in some places. It was hot. It was humid. I was getting eaten by insects, right? It was dusty. I didn't feel much there. The city, on the other hand, started feeling stuff, right? And Kim doesn't like to be in those places. So he was getting very uncertain. He was like, we've got to go back. I'm like, this is great content. Okay, someone kena raso, right? We're in this abandoned place. This is great content. But I didn't feel it. But if anything, I felt worry for Siti. It wasn't so much that she, allegedly got possessed or something was disturbing her. The real fear that I had was that she wander off and disappear, or she wanders into a body of water, and in the dissociative state that she's in, she drowns. How am I going to explain it to her husband? That was my fear. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a very real fear. That's more scarier than actually the hantus lah, to be honest. But how was Siti? Like, when did she become normal again?
At the kedai makan, actually.
Already
makan.
She was normal.
So the moment we sat down, then there's a lot more people. Then after that, we like, let's order some food, and then then after that, she slowly she came back. She was quiet for a period of time. Then after that, she just, oh gosh, man, I feel so tired. I feel so drained now. I felt like I don't want to eat, but I felt like I just need a good rest. And she kept on saying that she felt so drained. Obviously for me in my head, I'm like, I need to go to that place some more. Go. This is what happened to you. Go some more.
Wait, so
you were there too.
Who's sorry, I must have missed it. But whose idea was it to go there?
Everybody except me. The moment the resort owner, Mr. Dudek, told us this story, everybody said, same voice, everybody said, let's go. I'm like, it's not in the original plan. Why do we need to go there? Then because because there's other places that we went, we actually consult the Balian, which is for me, kiranya macam a professional that you consult before you go to these places, right? Then the professional will tell you, okay, this is what you do, and if you go here, just try to do this, But this wood carving factory, he didn't know about it until the next day. Right? Then after that, we're like, you did not consult a doctor. What are you gonna do? So I'm like, can we not? But everybody wanna go. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay back in the resort. I might meet the same lady wandering around the pool. Might as well go to the wood carving factory with everybody else, right? So I'm like, okay,
exactly.
Exactly. Lose. I missed out this part. What my wife saw when she was standing outside at the hole just now was, so remember the pokok ara, right? There's a lot of roots dangling, right? So you imagine the roots dangling. That night there was no wind, no nothing, right? Every other root was still. But right in front of her, she saw 2 roots just dangling like that. It's as if it's like a signal. But she's like, I buat bodoh je lah. I pun tak tahu nak buat apa kan. So she's like, I buat bodoh je lah. But I clearly see the 2. It's like just 2 tiny roots just dangling like that. Yeah.
So did Siti remember anything from when she was going here and there and wanting to eat frogs?
She didn't recall wanting to eat the frogs. She doesn't recall even the walk back, right? I think the last time that she was conscious was she went into that small depression next to the stream, and then she wanted to make. I think from that point on, everything got very hazy for her. And it's only, I think that she must have got like glimpses, like small little memories of the walk back, and it's only after she came out of it at the shop, the kedai makan, that she started like, you know, remembering things and talking again and interacting. But she was drained, and I mean, irrespective of whether you believe whether she was possessed or not, I can tell you that she looked like she had run a marathon.
Yeah.
She was just drained.
This lady is an avid hiker. She does like, you know, 12 hours kind of hiking.
Climb mountains, go to the Himalayas.
Himalayas. She have done Kota Kinabalu, you know, that kind of stamina. But that night she just looked like, she just finished a 12-hour climb. Mana that's just behind the factory dah pun.
So my next question is, when did you check your batteries for your cameras?
Well, it had all been pre-charged beforehand, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the moment we went into that area,
Yeah.
pre-charged batteries flat.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, I mean, like,
There
when you
is-
came out of it, did you check again?
Yeah, it was still flat.
Oh, it was still
So
flat.
just that
It was
place.
still flat.
It makes sense because
Yeah.
the place drained city and it drained anything that had batteries.
Yeah.
So is it
Yeah.
safe to say that the woman, the Balinese woman in the photo, is the same thing that influenced city?
Potentially. And again, if you ask me, I'm still not completely convinced that she was possessed. And I think that she could have been influenced. You know what I mean? Like how she was acting, the words that she was saying was probably, if you do believe in the existence of spirits, and especially that offerings are food for spirits, then you could say she was influenced like that. And again, like I've never seen her act like that way before. You know what I mean? And you know what? Like even though I said I wasn't scared, it's still creepy when someone wants to eat offerings.
Yeah, I know.
Do,
For sure.
do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
someone looks at a frog. Oh, that frog looks delicious. no, it doesn't. Stay away from the freaking frog. You know.
Wow.
So taking a page from the skeptical side, you know, it's possible that area, it's a former wood carving factory. It could have some fumes that affected city.
Potentially.
You know,
But
for her
potentially.
to act a certain way. I mean, we all know that so many things in this world that we don't understand.
Yeah. Possible.
Yeah.
Because like we say, we don't know.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, after we have checked with the Balian, you know, he did kind of say that sometimes probably when you enter these kind of places, because we always have this belief in ourselves saying that if we go to these places but we carry nothing but respect to this whatever that is surrounding us, they're not going to get to us. Probably they're going to warn us so that, you know, we will leave, but they're not going to harm us in a way, you know, unless you go there and try to provoke whatever there is. Then probably you're asking for trouble. But that time we were not, you know, when we get in, we were quiet. We did not we did not shout. We did not ask for anything. And then we put up offerings like the locals asked us to, you know. So we actually, don't know, like Joe said, we cannot 100% say that she is possessed. Probably it's just influence, right? And we also cannot say that the whatever is captured on that photo, it's something that is out to get us. Probably it's just another inhabitant that is happened to be there. The entity just happened to be there. And obviously you are stepping into their territory. They obviously they'll be like, what are you guys doing here? I have a belief. If let's say you are at home, right? This is your house, and then somebody just step into your front door. Of course you're gonna be like, why? What happened? And if that somebody come into my front door and, you know, hey, whoever is inside here, come out. Obviously I'm gonna feel pissed, right? You come to my house, then you're asking for this, right?
Yep.
But if somebody is just standing there, I'm probably just gonna like, anything? Can I help you? You know, so that curious, you know, but yeah, so
Cool.
I find it interesting that the middle tier is you guys said it was black or white. It's like gray, right?
Yeah.
But
so
that is
the way
basically
that
what was in the photo. It was a gray figure,
Yeah.
not a white or black. It was a gray.
100%.
So middle tier hantu lah.
And I think that the ghosts that are in the middle tier are those, like, if you want, for want of a better term, the lost souls who are in that like that purgatory. If I were to borrow from Catholicism, is in that state where they're just wandering, maybe they're lost, or maybe they've got some like unresolved kind of like unresolved things in life, right? And see the Balinese have a very different view on cosmology than, say, perhaps Christians or Muslims, right? As Christians, and even as Muslims, we believe in the existence of God, and we also believe in the very strict demarcation between what's good and what's evil. Okay? Now, the Dharmic religions don't have that difference. For them, there are there are entities that are negative, there are entities that are of a positive note, and there are entities that are in between, and all can get salvation. So they have a different approach to that, which is why when the Balinese go out and give offerings, they don't just give offerings to the good, they give offerings to everyone as a way of showing compassion even for those that are shunned, if that makes sense. So that was their kind of like that's their beliefs anyway.
Very interesting.
I'm so weary of factories because when you mentioned this is a factory, I don't know if it's on Netflix here. There's an Indonesian horror film called Pabrik Gula, which is sugar mill or sugar factory.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and they had their rituals. They had their Balinese almost type of costume, and then the story, without giving away too much, is about also them offering food so that these spirits wouldn't disturb the factory workers.
Yeah.
So factories.
I'm more of a Hantu Kat Lima fan as opposed to
It is-
a sugar mill.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Kim hates that show, but oh well, what can you do? We can't all be perfect.
Out of so many good movies out there, I don't want to mention just Malaysian. He want to insist on Hantu Kat Lima.
Best
Hey
number
man,
one show, bro.
that movie made tons of money here, so
Yeah, there you go.
The mass market loves it.
Kim just detailed the story of when we first met, right? When we first went to Bali after the pandemic. But I have a more recent story. It actually happened last year. Yep. And I can say probably these two stories that I'm going to tell, one of them was the first time I have ever encountered something supernatural. Since then, something else has happened at my mom's house. But I'm going to tell you, we decided to have a dark tour last year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we had a couple of our listeners wanted to accompany us for a dark tour. She goes, hey, let's just organize a dark tour back to Bali because we have a context there. We have we have the people there. We have the areas there. Let's capitalize on that, right? So it was about, I think, a 4-day, 5-night kind of like tour, right? Accommodation, everything. Now there were two events and two kind of like locations that really stood out for us. Okay. One of them was actually a semi-abandoned hotel in, if I'm not wrong, the northwest of Bali. Okay, so from Ubud, it was about maybe 2 or 3 hours northwest. Yeah, and Tony, which is the Balian. Now, I'll just give a little bit of a context on what a Balian is because Kim kind of like mentioned the functions of Balian. So the Balians are. It's probably an incorrect similarities between a Balian and a Dukun. Okay, it's very different. So in Bali, you have the Pemangkus, which are the priests that officiates the traditional Hindu ceremonies there, and then you have the normal Balinese people who just go about their daily lives. In between are the Balians. So they're the practical applications. You other like a huge ceremony. You want the weather to be good, they will ensure the weather is okay. You know what I mean? Someone kena rasuk, they will go there and do the healing. So they are like they are a very integral part of Balinese culture. Yeah. So we had Tony, and Tony was going, okay, for the tour, I'm going to take you and your guys up to this place that we had went before. Now he told us a story, right? He says, I went up there with my students, and I just went up there to stay because I like to explore my own island. Yeah, I like to explore my own island. I just like to go to places. So he saw this thing online, and he paid the money. Everything was sorted out. He went there. As he was going there, he was going, why is this damn place getting more ulu and ulu and ulu? Going down this road, he came to this hotel, and he says it was completely dark. No lights down there. He went there and says, are we in the right place? And then when they checked the maps and everything, they realized they were in the right place. But nothing looked open. There was maybe 1 or 2 lights. But it just looked abandoned. So he was like, this is very strange. And they got out, they tried looking around the place. This place is huge. Several acres. This is a huge kind of hotel, right? So he went, look, there's no one here. We better leave, right? When they got into the car and they started moving, they heard something smack into the car. Like a bang. They're going, what the hell is that? Because there's no one there in the middle of the night, right? In the middle of the jungle. There's no one there. They got out, and no joke, on the back side of the car, ada handprint lah. On the car. Ada handprint, right? So he's a spiritual practitioner there. He went, okay, I think we just better go. It doesn't take a spiritual practitioner to know that something's not right? So they decided to go.
Random handprint. Yes.
Yeah, like, okay,
Let's get the F out of here.
they kena sepak the car. Better go. So when he says that happened, I and the rest of the guys go, let's go there. Kim is not here, so no one's going to freaking complain. We'll go down there, right? We'll go down there. Kim joined us later, a lot later on. So the whole lot of us went there, right? Now, imagine this freaking huge hotel. We went there. We didn't stay there because we weren't sure if it was going to be open or not. So we said, we better not stay there. Sekali go there, nothing's open. We pay money. It's going to be... So let's just go and visit. Funnily, on the outside of the hotel, there's like a bungalow on a compound that a local hermit or a spiritual leader lives. Okay? So it was outside. Now, I don't mean to be funny, but on that night, I kena bali belly lah. So I had to go. So I didn't break in, but I broke in to the bungalow and used the toilet down there. I had no choice, okay? Spiritual leader, haunted, whatever, puaka, I don't care. I had to go, bro.
You gotta go.
You got it, I don't care. The Pontianak could be sitting on the toilet. I'll move her and go toilet. I don't care, right? So I brought my own toilet paper, so that's how prepared I was. So we were kind of going in and out, and outside that house was a huge statue of Ganesha, which is the Hindu elephant-headed god. And in Hinduism, he's seen as the remover of obstacles. So before you engage in spiritual practice, this is the spirit or the deity that you would pay respects to, so that your spiritual path is clear, is smooth, right? Now, to cut the long story short, we explored the huge abandoned hotel, right? Nothing happened there. It was creepy, huge, large, nothing creepy. Nothing happened, right? When we came out, they says, what do you want to do, Joe? Because there was a Indonesian podcast channel there as well. So they wanted to shoot a session. So they said, what do you want to do? I says, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the hermit's house where I took a shit in, right? At the back, there's this area. Even the priests who had accompanied us, now we had 3 priests who had accompanied us, they said that we should just go there. So I said, look, if they say we should go there, let's just go there. Now, I'll backpedal a bit. Before we had gone there and met the priests, Tony had told us, I've got a surprise for you. I've got 3 priests coming. 2 of them are very, very suchi, very holy people. One of them has been known to be a practitioner of the dark arts. So, we will go there and we'll just see. Tony later told me that this guy was testing him throughout the entire night, spiritually. Because Tony went very quiet partway through this whole entire exercise. He was sitting down, and later on when he explained to us, this guy was doing stuff just to test Tony's semangat, his kind of power, right? We all went there in front of this Ganesha. There was a huge macam, it's like a small little padang, but like a small little like a field kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. Dark, no lights. So they said, let's sit down there. Let's meditate. Okay. Alamak, bro, mau berak ada mosquito, humid. How to meditate? I tak boleh lah. And I also got ADHD. So I said, this is a very, very bad exercise for me. But I said, never mind lah. We all sit down. The three pemangkus went down there and they did their meditation. All of us switch off our lights as much as we can and we just sat down. To the left-hand side is a forest, hutan, just jungle. To our right-hand side is trees, a small little garden, a drop, hutan, and a stream, like a river. Okay? So basically, semi-ulu lah, but quite ulu, but we can hear people because I think they are fishing at the bottom. So they sit down there, they meditated. Bro, it was very boring for me, like I was like, oh my God, I find myself now in another jungle, meditating in a field, like this, my ADHD was getting the best of me. And so I was just sitting there, and for no reason, an image popped into my mind. Okay, I went, am I thinking of an old lady? Why am I thinking of an old lady in my head, hunchback, tongkat, long hair, walking up and down the perimeter of the jungle to my left-hand side? I thought, my brain lah, just imagining things, bored.
Your weird fetish.
My weird fetish is actually, why think of old woman? Why not some young lady, in Tarzan outfit on the side? Nothing like that. Old woman, long. I can still in my head, long straggly hair, just walking up and down the boundary of that little garden and that jungle. So I says, you know what? I can't stand up. I stood up and I walked towards the trees to the right-hand side. And I was looking up the tree because I was bored, right? I was looking up the trees. They're all praying down there. The incense are going. I'm looking up the trees. I saw flashes in the trees. Now, Kim didn't have time because in the previous time we went to Bali, I had other encounters. But maybe we'll save that for another time a little bit later, right? I saw this lights going across the tree. I said, what the hell is that light? I thought it was torchlight because there's like an orb out. And on the trees, it was just moving across the canopy of the trees. And I mean, hola, the buggers are at the bottom, they're fishing, they must be shining the torch upstairs. And then I realized, it can't be. If they're shining the torch, it should be projected on the other side. If it's in front of me and I can see it move across in front of me, the light must be coming from that side. Make sense? There was no lights. I saw these huge balls of light, like orbs, just move across like someone is shining the torch. And I'm going, am I imagining things? Luckily, one of the participants who was there also saw that. So it wasn't just me. Now, that's not it. We finished everything. They got up. And then all the priests macam ada meeting lah, ada Zoom meeting. They all went to one corner. They all talking in the Balinese dialect. I'm kepo. So I slowly walk up there and say, I wonder what they're talking now. Listen. And they were speaking a combination of Balinese and Bahasa Indonesia. As they was talking, I heard one of the female priests says, woman. Old woman. Then I pricked up and excuse me? And I listened more carefully. What she was saying was that there was a guardian of the forest. Get this, an old woman, banked back, long straggly hair, and a stick. And I says, I must be imagining this. I went to ask them, can you please explain what happened? She goes, oh, and I says, this is what I saw. And then she smiled. She goes, yeah, there's the guardian there. The guardian noticed that we were there. She was a bit shy, but she didn't want to come and disturb us. She wanted to see who were these people there. And she was just making sure that we were there without any ill intentions. And she was walking up and down that site that I saw her. And she says, yeah, that this is the guardian here. Now, I can tell you guys, I was sitting down. I had that image in my mind. It wasn't a case where, I thought I had this kind of this image, and I went to listen to the woman, and I put two together, and no. I had a clear image of what was happening on my left-hand side, and the three priests there corroborated that there was a guardian on that left-hand side of the jungle.
I mean, you could have had like a billion thoughts, but it was that image of the guardian.
I could have thought of Scarlett Johansson walking
Yes,
up and
easily.
down, riding a tiger. I could have thought anything, right? Why was it so specific to that?
Yeah.
You know, and they were saying that that's the area that she looks after, and that once she realized that we were okay, she was fine moving up and down. Okay, so that was the first thing that happened on that trip. Now, I'll go very quickly to the second thing, and this is where things got a little bit weird, and where I had my first paranormal encounter that I can say I have no explanation for. We went to what is called the Nikki Hotel in Bali, Denpasar, abandoned hotel. So when Tony goes, oh, I know this abandoned hotel in Denpasar, Kim was not there, right? I said, let's go. So we all went there.
Like you
Huge
double
hotel.
check, right? You're like, is Kim really not here? Okay, yeah, he's
Yeah,
not here.
I
All
said,
right, let's
Kim's
go.
not here. Okay, let's go. He was meant to arrive on that night as a surprise to some of the the guys on the tour.
Participants.
As the participants, yeah. And it's a huge hotel. I think off the top of my head, hundreds of room, right? But completely abandoned. The moment we went in there, we can hear noises from all over the hotel. Now, we're the only people there, right? We hear noises. As we're going in, doors are opening and shutting. Wind, yes. But you know the funny thing? As we're walking up, the opening and shutting of the doors seem to follow us. As we were walking up, okay? Now, at one point, I could have sworn to you that people were coming up behind us. Me, panic lah. I thought to myself, ayo, this is an abandoned hotel. I'm in Bali. Confirm, one of the locals saw people going in, call police. So I went habis lah. Foreigner, I'm in a country, I'm going to going to Kerobokan prison, I'm going to get caught. Confirm this is the police. And you know what? I turned around, stealing myself to meet who was coming up the stairs and coming down the corridor. I could hear people. I could hear people talking and moving as if there was someone there. Nothing. Just the noise, and the noise almost like came towards us and just disappeared. We walked it up. Dude, I don't know what it was. If you had, I didn't think ghosts. I thought people. You know what I mean? I didn't go, oi, ada hantu belakang. I go, no. There's people coming up behind us. Police, Joe, habis, prison. That's all that was on my mind. Yeah, but you know, it could be that we were in their realm, and all we heard was the passing as they were passing us, right? But we went to the top of the hotel. It all led us to a middle point at the top of the hotel. A lot of the movement stopped there. When we realized Tony did this to me, he goes inside. There was a small table outside. We opened there. There was a shrine inside one of the rooms to the sea goddess. Can you remember the name, Kim? Riri
Roro
Kidul. Ria Riri Kidul. So she was one of the sea goddess.
Ni Roro Kidul.
Whatever he said. Whatever he said. I'm sure he'll give you the name and you guys will flash it up. But she is the sea goddess in that area. And the Pamangku with us and Tony sat down, did their rituals, and they say, we've got permission for us to be here. Then they got very nervous. They go, guys, I've never seen Tony like this. Tony's gone all over the place. He's helped people in spirit possessions. He's done rituals in Bali as part of his work. He looked quite a bit nervous. He goes, guys, I think we don't spend too long here. We've got permission. But the permission was almost like, we'll let you be, we've got the protection of that entity that's here. But it's almost like the entity said to him, you can be here, but if you spend too long, not my responsibility. That kind of feeling. So the other Pamangku also got very nervous. He says, let's just spend a couple of minutes here, let's leave. I go, okay. They did some stuff in the room. We went back down. Now, this is what happened, right? We went all the way downstairs. Now, the lobby of the hotel is huge. I estimated maybe 50 to 100 meters long. Huge lobby. One end, the other end, right? We had some time, and he goes, okay, we spent about 3 or 4 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes just exploring this part, and then we got to chow. We got to go. So I looked at the area. I went to the right-hand side, right? And then I thought I heard noises there, and I realized that it was Tony who was on the right-hand side of the hotel. So I walked up to him. I was like, I said, Tony, I says, Tony? I heard him go, yeah? I go, we gotta go. No noise. Nothing. I go, Tony? And I walked to the right-hand side, right? It was getting darker and darker and darker, and it was moving me towards a part of the hotel that was very, very, there's no one there, none of the other guys. So I felt drawn to this area. I went, hang on a second, why is Tony not responding to me? I turned to my left, and I'm seeing Tony coming from the other end of the hotel. I heard this Tony say, yeah, from in front of me to the right. One of the other participants in the tour also heard it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a link to the video that's on our site. I'll even forward you the video. You can very clearly hear it because I was carrying a 360 camera. I go, Tony, and you can hear a voice say, yeah?
All right.
And it was just leading me to that dark part of the hotel. Tony, kita pergi. Are you here? Where are you, Tony? Where's Tony? No, I heard him here. He just said yes. No. Tony, did you hear me call you? Did you just hear me call you? When I was here, I said, Tony, so you just answered me. Did you hear it? I heard from here. I go, Tony, he goes, yeah. Did you hear it, Jimmy? You heard it, didn't you? And so I walked over here and I'm going, why is he not here? Are you, Tony, you didn't say yes at all. Oh, there's no doubt you replied for me from around here. That's why I went over here to find you. So you guys have heard the video. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that.
Because you need to be there, right? Like it just seems like Tony was in front of you in another room. It's like, hey Joe, I'm here. Then tiba-tiba, he appears somewhere else.
Yes,
that was
100%.
Like, that was, that's not Tony.
I mean,
it's not Tony because
I can't explain it either. I mean, the only thing I could, if you were thinking rationally, the only thing is, does the echo really travel that far? You know?
Yeah.
Could it?
So I asked him. And when I went Tony, and I went there. Obviously, it wasn't him. And she was coming back there. I went, Tony, did you hear me call you? He goes, no, I was in that way. Yeah, so he didn't even reply from that side. Right, he didn't even know I was looking for him.
Then you had
because the skeptical part of me goes, perhaps it's the echo. He hit her, and he goes, no, were you calling me? Like I'm here with these guys.
Right.
Did you feel something was off, or were you going to go in that direction of the voice?
I was going to go because that's where I thought he was.
Yes, correct.
But I didn't feel anything was off. Just like the other times, this is natural. I'm going. I thought Tony was there.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So if Tony,
why would you think otherwise?
Tony was there, but the only thing is, just started getting weird because I'm going. There's no lights down there. I'm not hearing further voices. I'm not hearing any movement now. Like, why is he not? And then he appeared that side. And shit.
I just wanna top up a little bit because I wasn't there, right? I wasn't there. I sampai when they already completed the Nikki hotel. Yeah, I was just hello everybody. but I want to say, because the Nikki hotel was actually the last spot lah, right, Joe?
Yeah.
The last spot that they are supposed to go for the dark tour punya program lah. So my wife was there, right? You imagine throughout the whole few days, they went to like cemetery, they went to like those semi-abandoned hotel. She didn't say shit about this. She was just, oh, you know, this place is this. Oh, Joe had a huge dump at this hotel, you know. It was until Nikki, she actually sent me messages in capital letter like, fuck, this hotel is really something else. I just want to go home. The hotel just creeps everybody out, including her. So I was like, you know what? I hope you are okay, but I'm not there, so it's all good. I'm sorry I sent you, but yeah.
Wow.
I find it interesting this thing mimic Tony's exact intonation, how he would say yeah, and it could have been like it wanted to do that on purpose, you know, to stray you. You know, instead of it could have been like like a old woman's voice or a completely different person, right?
Which is why I think it was trying to lure me into that side of the hotel. What would have happened had I gone and followed the voice from where it was coming from? I don't know.
That's why I mean, isn't there some kind of rule or something when you go in a group, you're supposed to have like code names?
Well, it's a pantang in the jungle. You never use your real name.
Yeah, so that they don't pretend to be you or something like that.
Yeah.
Joe don't follow any pantang, unfortunately. Very bad lah.
He literally was like, Tony.
Yeah. I'm worse. Kim and I walking to the jungle, so I say, Kim, come here, Kim.
Joe is the pantang.
No. Joseph Dakota.
Yeah. Please come here. I don't lah. But no, there is that whole idea, right? There's also that whole idea that if you hear someone calling your name at night, don't turn around.
Yeah.
Right?
But
then what happens is your mother... Yeah. What happens is your mother is there. Joe, you don't turn around. Cilaka punya budak. I call you how many times you didn't come. Cannot lah. So, for me, again, I didn't feel scared. I just thought it was Tony. And most of the paranormal encounters in my life, this and another one that's happened, I virtually thought it was a human being. It never crossed my mind it was a ghost or anything spiritual, only after the fact.
Damn, some good stories, man.
I love your stories, guys.
Yeah.
Some good
But you know what? I'm wondering, right? Kim and I have been here now for over an hour. I'm wondering, would you like to hop over to our universe?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do that.
We would like to be in your Bunyan world.
Come to Joe's
sure.
Bunyan world.
Let's
Imagine
lights
me
out
putting
this
little
bit.
things on.
But before we go to the Lights Out Ghost Stories world, we would just like to say thanks to the audience for watching this episode of Lights Out Ghost Stories with Naik Bulu Tales. You know, we would like to thank Joe and Kim for being here.
Thank you.
Guys, it's an honor and a privilege to hear your stories and just looking at another version of us telling the stories.
Literally.
I love it.
Literally, this is the Hantuverse.
Hantuverse, exactly.
Hantuverse.
It's our own Hantuverse.
The crossover that people didn't, that nobody asked for, but everybody needs.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for having us at your show.
Hey, man. No worries. But so we're just going to before we hop on to their side, we just want to say don't forget to subscribe, comment, like Naik Bulu Tales on our socials. And
There, everywhere.
And also Lights Out Ghost Stories. And
Okay, thank you guys so much. And we will definitely hop on. Take your offer on that.
yeah, so without further ado, we'd like to thank everybody for watching. And my name is Fairil.
Mo,
And we'll see you guys on another episode of
Naik Bulu Tales. Lights out.